Hello. Sophia has been extremely busy in her own life, but I still decided to make a video to talk about objectivist philosophy, Randian philosophy, mostly trying to come up with a way to set it up in terms of sort of my own philosophical worldview, which very much is counter to that, but try to use that rationale to justify my own worldview. Objectivism, the philosophy of essentially selfishness, rational self-interest. You morally act according to what your own self-needs are. So, for example, if somebody, I don't know, fell on the street, going out of your way would probably be an annoying hindrance to you, so you should not help them, whoever falls, because you should only care about yourself. That's essentially what the philosophy is, very much, survival of the fittest. I have been thinking about ways in which my own philosophy, which is yes, you should help the person who's fallen in the street, and you should try and be a selfless human being, how I can use a sort of self-oriented perspective to try and justify that. And justify why I think, social programs should be available to absolutely everybody, regardless of whether you have money or not. For social programs, if you do sort of try and aid as many people as you can, the benefit to society is enormous. There will be positions filled that otherwise would be empty, and which would actually create sort of more work for the individual to do. So in a sense, this kind of support is a justification for your own selfishness in terms of you having, in the future at least, to do less work. These little steps of provision now would lead to less costs in the future. So it is very much to a person's own benefit now to help others in order to create a sustainable world, essentially, to create a working economy where everybody sort of has some kind of place and is taken care of enough to function in that place so that they can do the best job possible. It's quite clear that aiding those in need can be a benefit to the self. Whether or not it's immediate does not really matter. The benefit will come, and the self should act in ways to help others in order to feel that reward. If one is truly self-interested, one has to be self-interested enough in other people, because that would actually lead to more benefit of the self. So actually it's almost purely following Randian philosophy rather than only following it in the present moment. It's thinking very deeply about the consequences that one's actions have on the self and on the world the self lives in, because obviously every action I take has some kind of consequence. And for example, if I vote for a party that is opposed to finding new ways to deal with climate change, opposed to, technological advances, etc., opposed to social programs, opposed to things that make society function well, or, looking constantly for ways to improve the way we live and what social measures should be taken to improve the way we live, then I'm actually ignoring my own self's needs as a person who functions in a social world. I do not function in my own bubble. If that were the case, then yes, being only presently focused with my self-interest would be the way I should live. But unfortunately, we all live, unless we're hermits in the middle of nowhere, we're all very much ingrained in a social world, and we have to function through that social world. So paying high taxes, which leads to the benefit of everyone else, ends up helping us. So we go to beautiful parks, for example. We have we have no garbage in our city because we have a great, cleaning program, or we are employing more people to clean the city, and we're giving them decent wages so they actually like their jobs, etc. All this leads to a much happier environment to surround oneself in. And this makes me happy. This is what I want. I want to live in a beautiful world. This benefits myself immensely. And this is the only way to live. So that is my argument.